And welcome to Phoenix Wright, Justice for All, Day 9 here in the channel. How's everyone doing? I think I do that. I turn it off. And then... Sorry, I just I don't know. Yeah, it's not. Why is it in there? That's weird. I'm gonna turn off the overlay. I was gonna do that. I'm doing okay. The way the marker I handled was pretty funny, so that was a little bit of laugh. A little bit of fun. We're only get just the trial part today. I'm not gonna try to rush it because also football and everything else. But we're gonna just get 2 parts of the trial done today. So here we go. Part 2 trial. 1 trial. Every part's has got 2 parts. I don't know why. Defendant lobby number 22nd, 47 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 3. Adrian, get more. Dude, Adrian did it. That's what it looks like. Dude, no way, the woman couldn't do it. Anything like that. Court there will be Mountain Evans below. Look at you. Mountain Evans? So there's someone out there trying hard to pin this whole thing on you. Police, there's a lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday. I'm rushing like a spring breeze, alright? Okay, sort of skin over there. I understand. It's almost time. Mia? It's got a complete quill today. I know. Can't focus on my situation right now. Pros either. I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Gee, well, let's get going. What in the heck? It's him. This is right. Good morning. This is the attorney today. Is it the attorney today of the trial? Mice is armed, right? Well, I checked her out this morning. Seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, the people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning the trial today. Grr. My second as well as yours. You must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts, and even if you don't like my gift. I expect you to gracefully accept the win to today's contest, if you please. Wait. Beep. You can't have sending a present. What world? Mr. Lawyer, dude. What was that? What was that? No one that was nothing to do with you, so forget it. You're anything. Dude, your nose just got longer. March 22nd, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 3. There's nobody on the prosecution side. Court session for trial of Mr. Malingard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Where's Von Camera? I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Von Camera? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor? Your Honor? please be quiet. Bailiff? Where's the session? Let's tell me something. Please keep it brief. Now, what is it? Prosecutor Von Kalma? Von Kalma? As this morning, Von Kalma was shot by a little gunman. What? Shot? Oops. Oh boy. Yeah. And the killer killed the shit. I guess you could say she shot the sheriff, but then shot the deputy. Is that the prosecutor but didn't shoot the deputy? Oh, this is bad. Somehow, I think this is the president that man was talking about. Oh, really? What gave you that idea, Mia? His president. This Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it'd be to your advantage. This is totally insane. It is. Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. I'm in stable condition. That's good for you. I thought he'd show up. Your Honor. Due to the circumstances of Miss Francesca von Kama, cannot appear in court today. I mouth as we're taking her place. Execution is ready naturally. Khan was shot in the right shoulder, girl undergoing surgery. I've looked at this case over, familiar with the details. Execution seeks to prove the guilt of the man on guard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Alright. I finally found the answer I was struggling for my long journey this past year. Case come to end, you two will know the answer. Now then, prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. What is your name and occupation? Name Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'll detective down at the precinct for now. Well, after all over, I'm supposed to turn in my bed, sir. Detective Gumshoe? Prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Gumshoe. Yes. Yes, sir. That's easy for you to say. You didn't get told you getting fired after this case. Let me I'm gonna tangle this. Some of this. Alright. Yes, sir. Let's have your testimony. Let's explore the various facets of this case. We will start with that. Gary thinks it's going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, I would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. Edgeworth is struggling for interesting. Show me you finally found Edgeworth. Bare facts of the case. What happened after the Heroes of Heroes award ceremony, sir? Victim Juan Carrito was found dead in his hotel room. In the case, cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. First, we thought there's something suspicious about that if the guitar case. However, we later found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Afterwards, ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. The defendant went alone in their room, sir. Bringing across examination. Pushing around. Please give us a brief time on what happened at the ceremony. Okay, pal, the ceremony started around 6 and around 8 p.m. and that's when short break. The special post-ceremony show started in the lobby 30 minutes later. That's when the victim body was found, correct? Let's just say the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Continue with testimony, detective. This guy with the victim body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. This Adrian Andrews we're talking about. The defendant guard's manager, she's a pretty lady, sir. She's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. The post-game show's about to start. She went to get in guard. After visiting his room, she went next with the victim's room and get him ready for the show, sir. That's why that's when she found the victim's body. This wasn't that because Mr. Carita stabbed in the chest. Like Kaz Amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Gotta look at the crime photo. Our old pro's attention to detail will be drawn to the banana here. Banana? Bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped around tightly around the neck. Oh yes, I see. Banana said the banana. What the fuck? It was stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. And we have a crappily murdered hand on our end. The scarf stabbed with a knife. Why did you think that? It was empty, pal. Damn, this doesn't go anywhere without this bright red guitar. Couldn't find anywhere to see in the ground. Oh, then how about this theory? Fran really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. That's how. I thought that too, but... What? Figured one of the guitar case was the victims. The victims, huh? See, so much for that theory then. Give it you had nothing to do with the case. The car was even at the gate well till that night. Or was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. Victor One Korea had probably only taken the case with him, sir. He seemed to have forgotten the guitar inside the case. Duh! Thank you, Captain Obvious, Judge. Even though he was on stage for a ceremony, he didn't even have his guitar. Her case was empty before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. They say it had nothing to do with the case after all. That's enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his banana. After the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Brings me to the next point. Why did the police arrest man on guard? Because there wasn't enough to suspect him? Here it comes. Looks like I was back in full swing. I'll take the gumshoe. Please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Man, got it. I want to agree that we're huge rivals with each other. I thought the other guy was in his way. That's more than enough in my book. For instance, there's the jam and ninja button. It was ripped off the ninja's costume. Was found in the Sakata. The French fingerprints are also over the knife. I brought the knife for the crime, which makes it this premeditated murder. Yeah, but it was in this we're accusing him of being in his costume. Wouldn't it be have gloves on? So it doesn't really make sense. French fingerprints were found on the knife using stabbing. Sort of tricky in the handle, so the fingerprints came out clearly. Sticky. And there's this button. It was found in the defendant's clothes with it. This button also covered in blood. We know that the blood on the victim is the victim's blood, sir. What? Damage is a button added to the court record. All this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? It most certainly does, Your Honor. I think I'm in yet, right? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. As hard as you'd like, just hurry up with your unusual, pointless questions. Grah! Yeah, but considering the fact that Matt's beat him 2 years in a row, probably Mr. Garden won, didn't he, not? Yeah, but you know what? It's alright, pal. Kree was always one step behind Mr. Garden and everything. Seems like he finally caught up. We are ready for the big final showdown. Kree lost the Grand Prix in the end. Too bad he must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Wait just 1 second here. Vanguard was beating Mr. Kree in the popularity polls. Yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's side, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Yep. You got on that one, face. You know, I agree. Well, detective, it's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm getting to see why you were fired. No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. No, it's your pension negotiations. No! Now, detective, let's continue with the testimony. Still, no, not my poor pension deal. Detective, if you value money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir, we can talk about pension later, sir. What about what was I saying? Hello, anyone? Face made a point. Hello? You have any proof that the butt belonged to the victim? Oh, what do you mean, pal? Let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the jam in his costume. But you can't tell just by looking at it. And the victim's blood is on it. I could have smeared that blood on it afterwards. Mr. Edgeworth, please help me, sir. Alright, I knew I had to be in this piece of it. Now let's reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached by the costume by thread, obviously. And then the thread snapped when the button was turned off. Match up the ends of the thread in the costume with the thread on the button. A perfect match. That's it. That's a perfect match, pal. Urk. That's what's for you. Never miss a beat. What's button found? We said that the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Greta. Let's search on the mall. That's when we found the button. So it was definitely immediately after the murder. Didn't have the free time to really gagging and play tricks on like some people. What's he trying to say about me here? How about the fingerprints and rings on the knife? What do you mean, pal? Examine the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, they hold it normally or overhand. Oh, you meant we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this apartment. Hopeless. You're paying attention to the testimony, right? Fred's fingers all over the knife. We determined how the knife held at the moment of the murder. So the defendant, the owner of the knife, then. No way, this was premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal, this isn't some pocket knife. It folds, though, it's not great for walking around either. Yeah, well, this is not good. If you could prove it's premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix, yes? Something very interesting about what detectives have said. Think carefully before it's too late. Button covered in the victim's blood, a knife in the... Be careful, judges were asking would have already patted his gavel in closing. A world of trouble here. For a battle, you must find your witness's weakness. Let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it is. Be okay. Wait a second. What? Basically, your argument that it's premeditated more simply is that McCully brought a knife beforehand? That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? There's a gate where a seal set into the handle. I think I've heard that name somewhere before. What's the name of the hotel at the Gateway Hotel? Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually properly in a hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. It's very true, it's very big. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, but the defense is simply clueless. What? Whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? If this knife is a hotel property, no one currently in the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. I didn't know. Which it is? Where does this knife come from? Well, it's obvious it came from the victim's Gray's room. Sorry, but that is incorrect. Ate last meal before his murder with that being the case. Draw the court's attention to what is on the table. Knife and a fork on the table. And where in the world did this knife come from? Please, of course, I'd like first to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Manangaz. So it was on top of this table. It's missing a knife. Something missing, perhaps it is a single knife. Investigated leftover dishes for fingerprints and we were investigating. Came to the conclusion that Mr. Manangaz's knife was missing. Eric? Guard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit to kill, of course? That, I believe the prosecution has proven, this was premeditated murder. Hook, line, and sinker. Amazing. I'm sorry, so it's absolutely brilliant. Brilliant deduction. I had this plan from the very beginning. One of those traps I just walked right along into. Open fingerprints and a button for the victim crimes. Quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I'd safely say that any further deliberations wasted your time's honor. Although, why the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court? It's not yet shown to it. Evidence that the court hasn't seen it. In other words, new evidence. Defense has to say about that story. Well... Phoenix, judge is favoring the prosecution right now. And so it's something wrong here. Oh, ring out the sound of the feet. Like you have something. There's one. A piece of evidence that catches my attention. This court has yet to see. That's alright. I'll say this one more time. A Phil's trial needs to continue all. If I'm giving you one chance, only one chance. Just saying, right? Don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. I messed this up. It's curtains for all of us. This is a wine glass, isn't it? Look at the photo of the crime scene once more. These are Mexicans as the victim struggling against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeshift makeup all over the floor. There were things that were pointing out sitting on the top of the dresser. As I see your point. However, this glass is just sitting on top of the dresser is seriously untouched. I think they had not fallen over with everything else is with the wine glass. The piece of evidence one is straight enough to warrant the further consideration. Oh, what do you all have to say? Oh, yeah, it's a little peculiar. Yes, it isn't it? I thought it was. Stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Judge what? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? Not my opinion. There's no special meaning to this glass. What? It just said the glass was there after the crime took place. The person discovered the body. Adrian answers for shock. So she set the glass down without thinking. Bullshit! We have the fucking bottle! Does it sound plausible? Just really have set the glass down without thinking? There's no way, because we've seen the fucking bottle. The wine bottle's there. Before the trial's over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust the instincts to point with certainty. Anyway, just fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. I'd like to challenge the prosecution's theory. If you see something that proves it was Mr. Andrews who set the cup on the table. The choice on the head yet. Again, as usual. Mr. Andrews, do you have proof to back up your claim? Yes, he's bluffing. Like Mr. Wright, I'd never say anything unless I have evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, Mr. Wright. This wine glass escaped my nose. And this has been certainly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There's only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Wait, one? Whose were they? Not the victims, nor the defendants, rather they were one of Adrian Andrews. What? Yeah, boy. Said the person who discovered the body had left it there. Bullshit! I can't believe I fell into that trap. It was probably holding the wine glass when she went to Mr. Greta's. Upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned, set the glass down the dresser. What you said makes a lot of sense. Now, do you see, Miss D-Ray? Can't change the part of my scenario. It explains everything too well. Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't. Not hard to dispatch you about what it means to be a prosecutor? And now I'll show you the answer I have just can discover. What? The prosecution has enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow the past judgment yet. There's yet to not a witness that could get we would like to hear the court to hear from. A witness? Yes. Bill, please bring in the next witness. What is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Well, we know that's bullshit because there's a fucking wine glass on the fucking table. If she brought it, why? That's just bullshit. We know it because there's a wine glass on the fucking table. And this, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation. Right, that. Gotcha. I don't know what happened to the calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Itchy boy, it's been a whole year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more than happy to see me. I saw the reporter with the dismay, but knew that on that helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. I tell you this time, I know what I'm supposed to do. Today, I'm going to tell you anything and everything. For things that didn't have to do with the tale of a crime. Mr. Witness, the tale of a crime is all the court needs to know. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Oof. Shush. I'm talking to my dear Itty Witty. Go to ask us, Gramps. Yes, madam. Oh, please, by all means. Interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. Your testimony, please. It's true what they say. You're a hothead nowadays. Well, not that I mind all, Auntie. Now then, what should I start with? The witness on the security detail hotel in Anna Murder? The correct Miss Old Bags? It's a great job being able to see my dear in one. Those two just formed my little heart to take. And you're a friend of the victim? Okay, everyone is a crazy on guard saying he's cute in a fresh way. Something. But not me, I wouldn't say anything so silly. All I know is just a little child like him. Listen, a real man, one Karita. Oh, but those two are the same age. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Tell the court you witnessed the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Itchy Poo. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to the pace around the hallway in front of the room. Something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the hole. That's when someone showed up. There was a man coming out of poor one's room. It's on guard, who's trying to sneak his way out of one's room. A guy came out from the victim's room. See, it has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Oh, sorry. You may begin the cross-examination. His old bags? What's your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to hold up a stage for the trifling show. If to help, I'll have, I was for lead head of the samurai show. Yeah, I even took a few of the nails. It was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides that match, there was the classes seemed to be working hard at it without me. Thought I'd take a break and spread my wings. A little. When he went to hang around the victim's door. Something you were interested in? Just what was that? That's something I could just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And itchy poo, of course. Just what is the thing she was interested in? I have no idea, despite the gossip in your other gossip. Super proof relevant? Go ahead have it appended to our testimony later. We should force it right now. Stay in the victim's door. Then what would you tell me the number of people went in and out of Curry's room? I have no idea. Once I can count those for those who didn't pay attention in class. So ever since I turned 20, I kept keeping track of how old I really am. So that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone correct. What was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has been carefully guarded from the master, Sonny. The man that came out of one's room, it was his. Yes, he was. I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Well, when I give the brief friend every time I get his whip right out now. Guess I could tell you since he was a bad boy anyway. So I'm calling. You sure about that? Yes, see. Really? Annoying brat when I saw that person. I guess that's a deja vu. To avoid a peel lashes should devolve in a little bit. Talk quite about the man's clothes in more detail. What troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now it was yeah, it was that thing. What thing? The god thing is always wearing that racing jacket. Swinging at this tension center too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Yeah, man. Alright, so, Mr. Wright. What's this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Oops. Yeah. I didn't mean to push that. Why would that be opposite not? Oh, wait, come on, game. Of course, important, Your Honor. I feel like to point out what part of the testimony was important. Don't see, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that witness about jacket to be appended to the testimony. See where you're going with this, but alright, witness say, at least. Oh well, I don't like badmouthing anyone without reason, but if I must. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket? What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything else than a horrible thing. Sure, he's wearing it. Just sure of herself that it's the point of self-assertion. It's impossible because we know. Because we know this was found in the nickel samurai costume. Like a nickel samurai costume. So it couldn't have been. Was old bag? What? Don't you say my name for no reason? Do you know what this is? That's the button number 2 on the German Ninja costume. I know she's a such fan. She's identified in a single glance. Give it here. You don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Well, she really is a diehard fan. Don't want a button covered in blood. Both discovered the missing guard's body during a full body search. See. But proves beyond a shadow of doubt it was that rascal and guard. It was caught in the pleats of the nickel samurai's Hamakami pants. See. Guard is the nickel samurai. You just testified he was wearing his red racing jacket. Now, it may just be me and I have an active imagination, but I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you just say that the defendant, Madagard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? Yeah, I'm so sorry. Sorry to judge. You judge people based on the way what they wear. Attendance, but I'm not gonna try. I can't even try. It's going so fast I can't even read it. I'll hold your tongue still over there for a second. So actually was that on guard, the man, with the nickel samurai. You think about it, they're really one and the same. Anyway, it's all back to this very point we're talking about. Auntie Pooh, do you think so too? Oh, it might be something worth considering. The point, and I agree with me for a change. And carefully try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, it should be one saying it, not you. A guard. Now I remember. The nickel samurai that saw, right? It was the nickel samurai that saw. So it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. I think of the post-samurai stage show right at the time, you know. So he must have worn that costume when he was stabbing poor one. But if he had his fingerprints on it, why? Poor one. I knew it. I knew you say he was inside that costume. What? Think that could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a little bad boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. I'm hearing it today. I told you, there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know? Because I said, I said so, and what I said is true. That does not make it so, bag. Right, you may cross-examine the witness. Considering you already contradict yourself already. Would you please get on with your testimony? What's your language, young man? What sort of tone is it to take? Go down there. My father know what used to be, so you should be forgive me for everything. Keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. Oh God. A straight kick finger by the sea, standing alone. He's the nickel samurai. Actually singing someone else my poor ears. Besides, can you please do something at this record? Witness, if you give you a piece of gum, I'll be able to stick to the facts. Okay, you promise, right? Alright, I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office on a later date. If I've been sending you a thank you note later too, it's worth old chum. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago you said he was wearing a racing jacket, now he's not. Not too long ago. Let me ask you something where you... when were you itsy bitsy when it was... What was your grand dream? What does that have to do with anything? What did you want to do when you were growing up, Stamper? A dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner here at the public court, so what? See? Look at where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who put weight into things like that? And now it's everything, and I can't be responsible for the oh, gee. When did the court become theatrics over testimonies? Phoenix, you were here for the first game, right? All that matters is the man that was inside the costume. Is that enough? Or would that be? And that no one could see his face, of course. Still no fans for him that I can see. In fact, you would think that the costume would make him stand out all the more. You're such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say. Is that what you're always doing to me? I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change it in his costume. That could be true. Is anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show? All the casters were supposed to be on stage in a friendly gestures thing. Includes the jamming ninja. Of course I included him. Strand guard came out with Juan's room. I didn't give it a second thought. Let's see. Well, anyway. So let me ask you one last time. The first you saw was really the Nickel Samurai. As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Can I throw in the towel you had? I need to take that too hard on this one. Huh? The contradiction of testimony and sing in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, okay? Let's look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. You're trying to scare me with all that. I'll leave you know it won't work. That's not my intention at all. I thought it was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important in this case? You'll have to answer because the defendant fingerprints on it. That what you're driving up? Exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? Whose car are we driving? Mr. Guard was really in the nickel costume at the time of the murder. It's impossible his fingerprints have been left on the knife. Actually, it would have been wiped previous fingerprints on the knife right off. That's right, the Nickel Samurai was wearing gloves, didn't he? Probably took his gloves off, began stab before bringing him dead in my case, sad sentry. Why would he do something like that to leave his prints on the murder weapon? No, he would do something like that. However, there's one possibility. Let's say the possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in the costume as the Nickel Samurai. That time, the defendant held no intent to murder. I was gonna relax to talk with the victim at the date show. Well, I took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. Although that bad blood between the defendant and the victim. I heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say? Get this straight. Mr. Wright goes like this. The defendant went to the victim's room. He had no intent of killing him. Up to this point, are there any problems with theory? Theory contradicts something. What are you babbling about? Let's suppose was the killer. If that's the case, like it's possible the killer would have gone to the victim's room without intent. The knife. This was used by guard for dinner. Yes, it is the opposite. Which means that if the client was in fact the killer, he brought the knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Gray. I suppose. You just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder him. Judah, why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from the... Super, superstition one. One more thing. The murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder. And then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which the defendant's fingerprints should be all over one's like on a beehive. It brings me to the final point. It was planted by the real killer to hide the identity and mislead us. Oh, I say, under the court. Are fully planted by the killer? Shoot, why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame my client man on guard, of course. The frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretations a little hard to hard in this one? Just establishes the witness that saw the nickel samurai in the costume. That's true, there should be a single fingerprint on the knife. Grrrr, witness. Look, it made your life a little too difficult, huh, Anti-Poo? You did not really see the nickel samurai. I guess the first time I had forgotten, but are you saying you mixed up Vanguard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Guys, waiting around in the front of the doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure. So I wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai. But then who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside security. I feel like you were waiting for one Korea, am I correct, witness? Haha. Why do you think you're such a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness? Amateur of me? I'm amateur of. Buck is waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like he's waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita. Maybe Phoenix, maybe the old bag is waiting around for that person. I think it's certainly possible. This old bag? You're gonna for this person to come out of the victor's room, weren't you? Funny part, Edgeworth Banana. Who is this person? This Adrian Andrews, Mr. Guard's manager. Or the defendant manager be in the victor's room. Seems that this is a latest room in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is, I see. Just seems to be really into the article if it can be called into such a thing. This manager of the initials they argue saying it's Adrian Andrews, without doubt. The witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I could throw away the whole sworn to the confidentiality stuff. Miss, what in the world are you... Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So I was doing my little investigation. A secret, of course. Before. Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Oh, so how would you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this, however, I can't simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then. Let's please testify about the secret information. Get ready. This is gonna take the wind out of your sails, youngins. No, I'm sure all the people handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. Secret information. And God is one evil man. You think I've ruined poor one's kid by causing you scandal. So to do that, he sent his own man to get in close with one. I got done such dirty tricks, so I took the action. Oh, this is top secret, you get it? Nobody else. You know what I mean? No, yet. Okay? It was a stressful topic for the score. Nobody's above gossip. In there saying truth never pleasant. Heard that one before. Says what about this Adrian this person? Looked in there, Ismala. Found the truth that the article is proposing. Fact baseless gossip. Should this be true? The defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. They had to smash the rumor once and for all. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful, the old bag seems right on his side right now. That's right, Edward. Guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Oh, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn the old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Highway to the danger zone. Can't say something like that with a proof that's slander. That's true. That one was getting into a poor one. It says it so right here, doesn't it? Manager of the Stars per se. Even a magazine comes from this gossip land. What are you saying that gossip is all this pack of lies? What do you know? That's just swear to me that the news is 100% truth. I said you can't determination between the news and gossip. So it's good disseminate when I do anything like that. Anyway, Unguarded will never get to say touchy. See you in my touchy. A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're dipping in one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. That's what they teach the kids in middle school these days. Oh no, I wasn't asking what a scandal means, even I know that much. Well, that Engard thought he hung it on the monopoly on the popularity. You proof that man, Mr. Engard, did any such thing. Must be suffering with shock, this sucking the truth. Now since you're in so much shock you can't do anything right. You're right, I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Then saying, show me what you got. Show me if that, and I got this Bella with this one. I don't have anything to offer. See? This I thought. We're lecturing me about saying things about proof. Give me a free pass whenever I want, Sally boy. You're my big mouth. The cookie crumbles for you anyway. Yeah, but it doesn't let you off from saying things relevant. So what do you mean by I took action? I told you I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came to Alvon wounds, I was gonna capture her. It's a good lesson, something you youngins need. Gonna teach her a good lesson? Okay, make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Just, no stop. Not a real ray gun, it's a fucking toy, does? Too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night. What? Busy when tea time with the kids is over. Isn't that one and no one else knows you? That's true. How do you know the secret information? Oh, that's because I'm a pro. That's it. Just figured you drilled a hole into my brain to find out how the world did that old bot bets. No one is supposed to know this secret information, correct? So why do you know of it, Miss Old Bags? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop there. Witness? Hate to say it, but this is a kid to acquire info. Investigation for photographer, lot of heart. Remember that mischief girl? She reported that she had lost a certain note that she had written to herself. Such a thing? Piece of paper she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and the Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? I said impressions. And I written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless. That's it. That's the note. No, you see, this is some completely different. My top is a good list of groceries to buy. And you're the one who took Mrs. Hart note. Straight on ones, that's why. Racist Piff, Buffy, and Whisper Stamper. With the evil Enguard, she said to herself, Enguard, I'm a sidekick. So happy, smiling like a silly wild ducky. Let's check on what she had written. And she proved you believe me, don't you? Ugh. I was only trying to help out like an angel I am. It's only one piece of evidence, little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should have come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. It was only one piece of paper, so we can overlook this case. So it looks like she's really sorry. Did I forgive her? Now she'll get away. To find some more to inflict the defending blow of the prosecution. Witness, is that the only thing you stole was the note? Is that correct? Stole? What do you listen? Or carefully, you annoying brat. I saved this piece of paper from the terrible and lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. You can put in my credibility in scrutiny again. This old bag. I don't believe that note was the only thing you stole that night. This old bag, that note with the camera. That's case, this wasn't it? A camera? I say a lot of heart was raising a huge stick over our camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie, $1,600 camera displayed on me. Why, witness. What is it, Gramps? Oh, then it's only last second you have the camera, too. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. The camera you're looking for? And that's it! What? Even though I look like this person, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love. Borrow things from people. It's stealing! I think your definition of borrow is a little off. It's someone's business card, and that's what I noticed it said. Slime back celebrity photographer extraordinary. I saw I had to know what sort of pictures he had taken. But security guard, it's my business to know these things. No it isn't. Bailiff! Get this camera photo, hurry. Let's examine them at once. So that's right, what do we have? There's only one photo that's relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you, I see the guy I saw. It does prove the witness is not lying earlier about this matter. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Photo by itself does not prove that the person is the defendant, however. His own confession clearly stated that Diamond Murray was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. The case in this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. How to come to this? Let's just bring us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. If all comments are straight, the court will consider them before close. To read this photos decisive evidence against the client. If it was really decisive, then we're done for. Raise objection here, a blow. Oh, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Let's take care. We're out of this mess.
「
Take care.
」
We're out of this mess.
「
Take care.
「
We're out of this mess.
」
photo that I took is something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew it's coming, right? Your thoughts were said. Your thoughts were said. What? I think we all can agree there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker. A bunker with a bunker buster? What you're planning to do is right. Anyway, please look at this photo one more time. Really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo. You should only need one chance, correct? Oh, well. If I find something wrong with this photo, I can't let this chance go by. Where did she take this photo from anyway? Oh, focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? What's your objection? I bet this photo's strange. Look at this. Look. Here, look. Clearly say it's too big for the person. Too tall. I like to direct the coordinates into the area right here. What you're pointing at is ankles. You see the person's ankles. That would be one thing. However, you can't. And that does that mean the costume person in the photo could not have been Mr. On Guard? What is the meaning of this? And what if you would care to elaborate with the actual facts, that is? Let's take a look at the Eagle Samurai poster. Please pay attention to the area around the bottom of the Hamakama. His socks. You can see his socks. We can see it's too long for the guy. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. See his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hammer coming up just with the walk. So, an explanation for this. Person inside the costume clearly shorter than the defendant. Turn things around for myself this time. It's curious, huh? What is it? Edwards is unusually calm today. It's true. Just letting the trial run itself as if he's only along for the ride. Only along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I guess that perhaps he doesn't feel that under attack. Doesn't feel under attack at all. Feel under attack? If damage the case at all? Edward, where does this leave us? The person in this photo is not man on guard. Everything the prosecutor tried to prove up has got meaningless. I figured it would have come to this. What? Alright, that's something I want to ask you. You're proving that the person inside the costume is not man on guard? In that case, who's this photo of? Person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume. Is this person wearing the Samurai costume? So for the Sphinx, it's very simple. Focus on Edward's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? Let's hear your thoughts. Person inside. Adrian Andrews? I know who that Nickel Samurai is none other than this woman. Why'd you say it would be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? Besides, she's short, and you can freely move in and out of Mr. Guard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Guard that night. So I'll add up. It says it's very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Guard's print all over it. That was used as a murder weapon? Like you don't... Why don't you just say what it is you want, Mr. Wright? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. Mr. Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Carita. Mr. Andrews was trying to frame the defendant for the crime. Order. Looks like the trial is it must expect development. Mr. Edwards? Yes, Your Honor. Let's issue a subpoena for Mr. Adrian Andrews. Cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it. It's kind of bad for us, huh? What do you mean? This summoned the court as a witness. The trial gone for another day. One more day, heck. Okay, for today then. And we shall set Mr. Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? About to join the court. And then... Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. We must pass a verdict today. Can I do that? We cannot hear that Mr. Andrews' testimony if she's not... I wasted such valuable time. That's right. Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But you cannot continue due to this unexpected development. This unexpected development? Answer me, Your Honor. What do you mean by that? Things right with slaves is why there was subpoena. Spinning us Andrews all happening according to plan. If Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What? This is reading a statement, Mr. Edward. Mr. Andrews is currently weighing the prosecution's lobby. She's the next witness. Nani? Everything was planned out in advance by that man. And there was no way Edward would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle's far from over. Exactly. Very well. Call the next witness, however. For proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please pray and witness at the time, Mr. Edward. Court will now take a 10-minute recess. Sounds like a good idea for me to take a little bit of recess. Dude, I'm gonna take a little bit of break, and we're gonna get on with the part 2 of the trial in just a few moments. Come on with day 9 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All here on the channel. And we're back. Alright, just taking care of a few things in survey, and here we go. March 22nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court. Let the Federal Lobby number 3. Dude, I can't believe it. Adrian, no way, not cool. And go like to Adrian Andrews. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. Wish I had easy access to knife you used during dinner with her. After the Saturday dinner break, huh? Seemed like a long time. Like a lot of time. She also easily planted the blood-covered button that you could comma. I don't know. I could have came to wake you up. Wake me up. Dude, you saying it was her? Yeah, she really is the killer. She was the one who murdered one Karita. Well, why? I thought she was buzzed with one. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about, dude? I'm sure by the time you'll see I'm sure you'll see by the time the trial's over. I'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day. That's refreshing. Like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Lay, dude. Phoenix. It's related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yeah. Depending on impacts on our strength and reason to live. And Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounded like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it. Okay. And left the suicide note and the person was hidden it. Just want to create a victim of the murder. Exactly. I think Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Karita. And all to get that suicide note back. Does sound plausible. One thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told you us about their relationship? But saying Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impacts. It's Edwards. He's still in one command of the ship. Don't let your guard down yet. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court. Government Authority. Well, now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edward, if you please. The prosecution call witness is subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person, the crime, discovered the crime in Mr. Ron Gray's room. What's your occupation? I'm the manager of the defendant in this case, Miss Guard. Let's see now then. Beginning, Your Honor, I have one request. Yeah, so is it. I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering what the same thing. We'll have to find out more about my relationship with the victim. It was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No idea what you mean. I've never heard of Gossip Land. A judge was ever a prosecuting witness. He do all the work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you'd please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Karita. That's why the rivalry exists between Matt and Juan. It was a private man between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter. It was a bait and fry, reminds me of fishing. But I didn't kill him. Let's keep to that. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. I think we're all understanding your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. Ooh. It was time for the show to start. So I went to my room from his room. After I went to Juan's room, it was his dead body. I was in shock. I saw naturally that Dex seemed crime scene. I felt as though it was fate as I poured myself a glass of juice. What the why would you... That doesn't make any sense. Poured yourself a glass of juice? I know I remember not touching things at the scene of the crime. Started the crime scene by moving this one thing. Run the fingers on the wine glass. It was me, Your Honor. Let's see. Well, it's alright. You may cross-examine the witness, Phoenix. So on cool collected customers, he has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. Just disrupt their pacing. Disrupt their pacing? One who's easily thrown off by things inconsistent when they're thinking. You can attack when she least expects it. Instant you let up on her, and your offense is the instant that this trial is over, understood? What was it Mr. Angard doing at the time? He was taking a nap. It was right out from his main form was the ceremony during the ceremony. Angard did say he was taking a nap. You just gave her client his alibi. Guess I could say it taking could not have been taken out of his room. Excuse me if it were. What are you? Alright, I thought here's a school, so I taught you how to construct a sentence. Can't make a sensible sentence with the subject, and I'll make one for you. What? Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Guard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object. Right? Did you skip basic grammar that the witness may continue? With the one's room. Okay, no, oops, okay. Why'd you do that? It's friendly just the one was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So she was supposed to be a show. Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon, what are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? She had more personal demand to discuss with the victim. Sorry, but I don't have any such intention in mind at the time. Can't get a talk about a strong piece of evidence, I guess. Continue. See, you got to the room. This room. You were in shock? Oh, was I not supposed to be? It's a very calculating person. Despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Sakurita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. You can't seriously expect a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Sorry, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not shocked. Let's see. It's photo you're referring to, correct? It's the one the knife lodged in the chest. The car case was like this. It was open and empty, of course. What did you do next, witness? Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. You didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? No lip marks left on the wine glass, just that anyone drank it. I wasn't feeling that terribly great, so I set the glass down and drinking it. I'd like to confirm one thing with you. You discovered the body, you were in great shock. You reported yourself at the glass of juice, correct? What of it? My mind really was completely blank at the time. Completely blank. It's possible for you. Aren't you rude today? So I made one careless mistake, that one thing. What one thing? Never mind. It's not a big deal. I'm starting to say this now. Miss Andrews, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what that mistake was. Actually, so do I. Sorry, just kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Hey, so you know what? The one on the floor in the crime scene? The massive glass shards? It was really on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into my elbow, it fell over and onto the guitar case. Why'd you withhold such a important piece of evidence? It's information, excuse me, I'm sorry. I just thought since the crime was already in the story, people would simply assume the vase was just part of the mess. So yeah, another fact is you have to come to life. Please add this, anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. Sorry, but I had nothing more to add. I don't touch anything else. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase, isn't it? Fairly big and heavy. I would try to take one's pulse. So I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. But my elbow accidentally hit the vase. So I thought she was always in total control of herself. She liked the people think. About the gap between your perception and reality. Like there's any glaring contradiction in the testimony to stale. I warned you that she would not crack so easily. Officer, not let up. Testified to knock the flower vase over, is that correct? Yes. Sure fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with that, what I said? Yeah, the case is open, and the problem is that onto it. Or it'd be, yeah, the guitar case is open. It's sure the top of the case was wet with water. Or that's exactly what's so strange. Miss Andrews, it's meant the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that's true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. Exactly. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one strange thing about this guitar case. What is it? Let's take another look at this crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. What is wrong with that? The guitar case was open when the vase fell. The glass shards should be inside, not outside the case. What's your point, Wright? The case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? Now think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. So other than the face, she didn't touch anything else. Ugh. That's right. Did she said she did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this old man with the guitar case is dead. And the bright red guitar was found at the studio. There was no bearing on this case at all. Repair will be, however, and the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? Seems that there's no deeper meaning in the guitar case. Do you want any more deals about the guitar case? Guitar case? I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. Can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Sanders, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. I did clearly because I was in a bit of daze. I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. Not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. I opened the case, even I don't know. Looks like this really is a very important point. So wasteful is much a familiar feeling by now. That's almost comforting. Alright, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using any way to change the topic, a green escape for weak men. I went to clear because of it. Oh, okay. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see, are you sure you're the only one to open the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she's answering that. It's like a dependent side is taking over. So Andrews, guess it was me. Did you open the guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. Why'd you open the guitar case? Huh? You said buyers right in front of you, wasn't it? I think the first thing you'd do is call for help to open the guitar case. The witness has said multiple times when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the right brick guitar was already in that. Or maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about the bright red guitar? Getting back on topic. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if you maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The guitar was found at the studio. These trials should be over in half a time if you would just pay attention. Just pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at the discovery of the victim's body? That's probably it. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. I'll make a talk with this evidence. Let's try it. Come on, Beast. We can't afford to let up now. The weakest now is this is our chance. Yeah, if we had a weapon to hand with, it was hiding somewhere in the cart wreckage waiting to be found. I mean, they did it. Seems like you're conveniently dazed only when she needs to be dazed. There are pieces of evidence that she needs. There aren't pieces of evidence. There are parts of the story when she conveniently needs to her room. That's why you were the one to open the guitar case. Or would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. Ah. That's Los Andrews. She assumed that I must have left fingerprints because I touched the case. What do you mean? I would tell you I was wearing gloves at the time. Gloves? Why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It's not the award ceremony. Of course, it's just for such an occasion. It's now I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. Let's see, but almost right. It seems the witness is wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's strange. You're wearing gloves? Is that a little strange? That's strange. We found the freaking wine glass with your fingerprints on it. Yeah, you. Proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on that wine glass. Ah, you took your gloves off when you poured the juice, that glass of juice. I think it was a little strange. You put your gloves back on just to open a guitar case? Ugh! Just breaks the glasses and puts another pair on. Order. You just hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? Guitar case plays a very important role here. It's just an empty case. It's really just empty though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio. Please drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a white guitar? Is that not? That's the. Oh, wait, that's not right either. I mean, it would be unnatural for someone to do that. Despite the facts out there on the case. Your Honor, this is obvious as defense as usual misdirection tactics at work. To steer the court towards an unrelated topic, all into the misguided. No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews testified. He fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. It was wide open with the foot of the crime scene. I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. So sure, right? I'm sure you can somehow sustain your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us all why the arcade has anything to do with the Smurf? Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second, the Wright guitar case had nothing to do with it. The only thing that could have been in the case. The Wright guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean it's just a black guitar was in... So you would tend to push your theory that the case was not empty, is that right? I would say something I don't tend to prove. The flight ahead of yours, you haven't proved anything yet. Let's have it. What inside the case at the time of the murder? This is a photograph. Look at this photograph. What's the point in this? The picture on it? Is the picture? I'm gonna take a chance to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is. Inside the guitar case was Nickel Samurai, his very own costume. What? Right, please explain yourself, right? Are you saying that when this opened a case to take out a costume, the same point would that be to do something like that? The same point would be to wear the costume, of course. She has to put it on to hide the identity so she could make her escape. That's all. You couldn't let anyone leave. Could see you leave, Miss Andrews. I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such idea? Just that the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. In the end, she managed to get the shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order. Wait for one into another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. A second, Your Honor. Look at Samurai's costume. Women and guards. Or something of a defendant being the victim's room. Instead of a guitar case of all places. Dude, it's a little baffling, right? The court would like to hear your thoughts. Didn't take his costume during the period break. In that case, the costume we're talking about was a spare one. What? You're saying that on the night of the murder, there was 2 nickel samurai costumes at the Gateway Hotel. That's what I'm saying. I explained that the costume was inside the guitar case. If the victim himself had brought the spare to the ceremony at the purpose. Why? The victim, Mr. Grado, was the jamming ninja. Or did he secretly bring the nickel samurai spare costume with him? Could be the reason that binds the peculiar act. And her last the sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? You've just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue. No, I just... Right, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the nickel spare costume, Phoenix? Sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer. Answer with gusto, I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The victim brought the nickel samurai spare costume to the hotel with. What is this? On the night of Mario after stage show, the Nickel Samurai's gonna hold a special press conference. Press conference? Is the Nickel Samurai supposed to confess something at this conference? I bet this as well. For once, you're not making something up, Ray. But what stuck at me as strange was that Mr. Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. How could that be? The way I see it, there's only one thing. The conference was a setup. But other than the victim is the one Karita himself. The victim? Yes. The spare nickel samurai was prepared for a very conference. Karita was going to hold the press conference as the nickel samurai. Dress up as the nickel samurai and hold the conference? Why did the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I'm concerned with right now is why he attended a real at the conference. This Sam was gonna confess something? Confess had ways that he was gonna reveal something about himself. One Korea posing as Nickel Samurai was gonna speak about Man on Guard. Guess that would mean. Yes, that's not a confession, it's a public disclosure. Miss Andrews, you see why you're a pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you said, the press conference was set up by one. Miss Andrews, please offer some explanation for this. As someone he asked to help set up, the person who prepared the second costume for him. There was also me. You? Juan had bet everything on the Jamming Ninja this year. If he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with them. That's what he thought anyway. Get rid of him, huh? Look like somehow Juan had in his hand a secret so powerful. Destroys Matt's acting career had been revealed. What? You know what the secret of Man Guards is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. I see. I'd probably be coming off quite suspicious to everyone. That's to be expected. We're trying to protect Man after all. Protect Mr. On Guard? Again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, seems. Judge, if you could please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Protect Emmett. When I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. I had to kill Juan no matter what. You have an alibi when he was doing it the time of the murder. Bullshit, you gave him one before. Well, that's confirmed by the evidence, of course, by the button and the knife. I'm Matt's manager, so felt I had to protect him. And this does account for everything. I am a logical type. Finally seeing his true self. Or I was a scared rabbit. Defendant, if I know what fault witness testimony, I am going to make a ruling. Please keep this in mind as regards to contaminants, Mr. Wright. So everything is swung to you up inside in the scale again. Wait this and turn the logic upside down. Would you say that, what was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confess to my methods of reasoning with your own. Eric, prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? Motive and opportunity to commit the crime, and finally decisive evidence. Answer becomes quite clear. Sure, I know that, Phoenix. They teach us that. They didn't teach us that to us at school, at least not from what I remember. May I continue? Say this need came from the press conference? Yes, do you know why Juan chose that event in that hotel for the conference? That's when he could cause the most damage to the public beloved Man on Guard. But again, you haven't proven that he knew the press conference was going to happen. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But I'm sure Miss Ungard herself didn't know anything about the press conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? Can you show me any proof he did know it? Anyway, the point thing is here is the information was not in your testimony. Mr. Andrews, please correct your testimony in it, if you please. Grasping at straws now, I'll read Mr. Wright. God did something to hurt you or betray you personally? Why do you ask? You were the one who helped Mr. Karita with this press conference. With the event was supposed to bring down Mr. Guard, yet you still helped out. The person on trial right now is Mr. Guard, right? The witness was thinking helping the victim was planned. Not our concerns. In any case, that means the defendant had no motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this by myself? But didn't you already testify earlier that was taking a nap in his room? You tell me now that 2 was a liar, so it's covered from Mr. Guard. I'm not telling you anything of that sort. When I went to get for the show, it was sleeping. So whether he was sleeping the entire time, I cannot say. Should be setting up the stage at that time. Sorry, but I can't find the flaws with Miss Andrews said. I can't say that for some people here in the courtroom, however. This is glaring straight at me, glaring at you, smart guy. You hardly call the knife decisive evidence. Looking on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. What about the button? The button? Heard from the crime scene that the victim and the murder fought. During the fight, the killer ripped the button from the jamming ninja costume. Talking about the button, correct? It was found in the police of Amakama, isn't that correct? I think I would make it very decisive evidence. Eric. Fox again, that's right. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove anything out. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. That gives me, you can still look at me. Icy stare, yes. Miss Andrews, for the right's sake, please add this information to the testimony. How do you know that? Well, the ends of the threads on the button and the costume were matched up. Found the fit together perfectly, so I heard. Heard that before, too. Why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that, just because I'm prepared and you are not. I thought I had her this time for sure. There's anything to trip her up on. This has to be her here. Here what? Oh, but what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? At the worst possible time. I think she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you pointed at. She could have disclosed things about Mr. Guard at any time. Why would she wait until there was such a large audience before doing so? Same reason why Mr. Kurita planned such a conference. It's just wanted to cause Mr. Guard as much damage as he possibly could. Mrs. Perez ill-will tries to defend it. This isn't the Phoenix Wright wax philosophy power hour. Please stop slandering the witness. As I expected, Mr. Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid. Because to me it sounded a little wishy-washy. The victim's autopsy report clearly states that the cause of death is strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. What does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. The button has the victim's blood on it. Which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means... So the button was turned off during the victim's final struggle. The victim was strangled to death in the fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was considerably pulled off the victim's already dead body. What's the meaning of this? Right. So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim was already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose does that serve? Purpose? You know this button was already turned off during the fight. So the murder took the time and effort to precisely rip this off the victim's body. I mean, the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? It's alright. Does that mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with the button? There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It's putting the crime mister on guard. There's no way anyone would put a bloody button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. Guard was set up by the real killer, of course. Real murderer is. What's right? Who in the world is the real murderer? The real killer then. Finally. Can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Face, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. I'll kill the person who planned to frame Mr. Guard is. Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you. You're Korea's killer. I'll stop to play Pokemon, Kappa. What? Or Mr. Wright. Very great man. Do you have evidence that supports your charge? Evidence? That supports to Miss Andrews. How preposterous. You can stick Anna on me. You can't stick Anna. I can't. Can I? Can it test me? And what about the knife? It was used to stab the victim after he already strangled to death. Used to throw suspicion on the man at garden naturally. That coat in the fence fingerprints could be only taken from his room. When they went dinner with them, knew the knife to take away was you. Tisk! Then, what about the button that was found on the man? The button was removed from the body after he already died. The person who could have done so, the person who found his body, or the killer. Remember, Mr. Gardner was the real killer. There's no way he could have put such an incriminating evidence on his own Amakami. Ugh! A person could have put this button on a Mr. Guard. It's the person who wanted to make him from his app, which is you yet again, Miss Andrews. See, what about the guitar case? There's also a piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. Costume was used to hide the kills for all day as he fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume was inside the guitar case? Could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. That person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. No, I. And just fingerprints are nowhere to be found in the guitar case. Was it you that proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time? That's right. Could she not intend on leaving any fingerprints? I found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. Before you leave any fingerprints, she used a towel or something special to open it. But the glass determination is a different story. She virtually left the fingerprints on the glass to show, yes, indeed. She was classic day's discovery of the dead body. Ugh! And top it all off, there's this photo. A photo that killed it as they exited the scene of the crime. There's no person on earth could believe this is Uncle Samurai's that was on guard. But much too short for his own costume if it was him. Figure out how tall people are. Miss Adrian Andrews, you're kind of short in your stature, are you not? Please stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got it this time. Miss Andrews? Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something that would incriminate me. Got a point there. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Miss Andrews, the law does provide you with the way to avoid self-incrimination, pleading the fifth. Witness to not testifying testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do in a spot. Actually, thinking back to the essay in God's room. Adrian Andrews? Yes. Thank God about what we just discussed, understood. Alright. That's it. That's when Francesca playing in Danny there in her head. She must have told Miss Andrews not to testify if things look bad. If her good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. Still one thing you haven't done. Haven't done? What's wrong, right? You're finished already? Run out of evidence? What's so human, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything that the good lawyer has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? And you have proven? It's circumstantial. Circumstantial? It's circumstantial. You have yet to prove a single piece of definitive proof. Mr. Andrews did in fact harbor with Mr. Greta. Andrews, you do not want to kill Mr. Greta? I believe this may lead me to credit myself, so I have to say from answering. Andrews, that would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Still, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove either way. Besides, you don't know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. No, she's taking that defiant stance again. What should we do? Should we land in the worst possible situation? I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. As Andrews has refused to testify. Offense's theory that she is the actual murderer. That stain would solve the definitive proof. Yeah, it's a murderer. Should declare recess. Recess? Let the prosecution's defense look further into the matter. Tomorrow's trial. Tomorrow. You don't have tomorrow. Let the verdict today. That's not necessary. Trial? Let's continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Kai's getting one more day to live, isn't he? He doesn't know, does he? That's not, it's not about that. Edward, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If you don't get the verdict, then Maya... It's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. The court is... It's impossible for this trial to continue. George, what are you... True, Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination, however. This topic of conversation we used to unrelated to whatever she's guilty of. There's no right to withhold the testimony. Yes, that's very true. But I said there's one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews? Found the victim's body, poured himself a glass of juice. Yes, and can't help but think how natural it is. Someone would find the body shaking that during its glass of juice. I shouldn't use all. Before you speak, I want you to state if you have reason to find the actions. Like you testified to that effect. I would like to request that the witness testify again, after when she discovered the victim's body. Or we find out this testimony should be in a way to implicate the witness. I don't know what it's about. It's about Ezra today, but I can't get a good read off of him. He's friend or foe, I just don't know. Court acknowledges the prosecutor's request. Answers your please. Found the body. That's the juice I didn't pour for myself. Surprised when I walked in the room and saw it in a messy state. Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired in the corner. I was sitting there, I thought he was dead, didn't cross my mind. Why I thought he had fainted or something, so I put the pour himself juice. I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. What a glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in the first early testimony? I think I needed to tell some trivial. Being careful if you don't find anything wrong with the testimony. Nothing left. I know. That's what Becky is going on with the brain of yours. Are you bringing the cross-examination? But there wasn't anyone else in the room. Of course not. Then who did you pour it for? That's right, there's a rhyme reason for everything. A little longer feel to you. In other words, right? Be quiet and listen. Guess I could have said it by myself. So it was a mess. Sure, it wasn't messy because of your fight with Mr. Garita? Is there any frustrations in not being able to prove your theory? Wait till you see next witness. Slumped over? Yes, he was just sitting there. His head. It was looking like he was sleeping. See, just being to that, not sound a little odd. Then what did you cross your mind? It smashed everything up in anger because of the Leicester Grand Prix. Felt tired after his rampage, so I decided to take a nap. But that's what I thought. So you didn't think he was dead at all? Yeah, but what about the knife sticking in his chest? They had fainted. He was asleep at first, but then the room was in such a messy state. He had gotten in a fight with someone. That's when he went to pour a glass of juice. As there's always had a hard time waking up. Always had a glass of tomato juice to drink. I see. After that, what happened next? She couldn't realize the fact that he was dead. I shook him all over, but never got a response. I set the glass down on the dresser and tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and staggered backwards. Knocked the flower vase over, so that's what happened. Yes. That's what it all comes down to. It's the absolute end for both sides. Adrian Andrews is letting her guard down. It's now best chance to kill the prosecutor's case. At best harsh, Miss Andrews, will you tell us the truth this time? So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? Not at all. This is what you saw when you discovered the body. Knife sticking in his chest. What's the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? The knife sticking straight out of Mr. Korea's chest. I saw the scene would have immediately thought there was a dead man. Well, you see, a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted. And so nonchalantly go pour himself a drink. Your point? Your point is? Miss Andrews, your testimony just now. It's all one giant lie. Ugh. Well, it's proven one thing very clearly. You are the real killer. No! Looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. Defendant, Mr. Malingard, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible. You're wrong. Miss Andrews, to try to have some composure. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. I swear, he's the one who killed Juan. You weren't the one who you were the one who refused to testify. You're the reason not doing it was that you might end up incriminating yourself. It's because, Mr. Andrews, I'll give you one last chance. What exactly you're hiding that may incriminate yourself? I refuse to testify. Need for the court to continue with this any further. Thank God, it says McClellan to demonstrate. Is this it? Is it over? Have we found most truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his guilt. And think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. And I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Managard. Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it's premature to pass down the verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. This is yet to speak about the absolute real truth. The absolute real truth? What are you? Witness, do you understand yet? Huh? I don't know, plant this silly idea in your head. If you protect yourself, though, just your silence, Maragard will go free in his place. You'll become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I told him if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it? I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. For Jessica Von Karma, huh? Don't you remember Phoenix? She lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she didn't have the strength to believe in herself. And right now, Sanders is. Sanders is. It says you toss the lifesaver of Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word no matter what happens. If you do, God will be quitted. Sanders undyingly believes in those words right now and clinging on to them. What should we do? It's the first time I've ever come across anything like this. There has to be the real killer, right? What I have to do now is get guilty, or not guilty. That's only priority. It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill one. Help, please! Someone help! Please help me, please. It's all right. Yes. Yes, Your Honor. Can't continue on like this after I like you to hear what you tend to do. I tend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Alright, it's just you think very clearly about this? What this witness did and what she did not do? It's a little mastermind, isn't it obvious? Someone else could have accepted the one crying right now. After winning a complete quill today, there's no way around there. But, myself to do it like this, not when she's making a face like that. Andrews, you know what you're really hiding. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Sure, Mr. Guard would get a quill. His place would be found guilty. Is this how you want to really this trial to end? Be quiet, how dare you? You're trying to trick me. That's enough. I command you for trying. It's clear the defendant's theory is the truth. You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however. Ms. Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls upon my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop. Says what? This witness, as I put this, has such an illness. What? Because of this illness, she tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop, please stop. How much do you want to hide it? No use. Evidence right here. That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide. You do now, witness. You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the woman known as Adrian Andrews. Her deep, dependent nature. She'll know about scares her more than anything else in the world. Please stop. Please, I beg you. We'll find out. If you'll find out, I'll. You're gonna say choose death. That is not my concern. That is no concern to me. Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? And before you die, I'll pull the truth from your still breathing lips. Well, what I have to do. Ugh. You please tell the court. Tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please help me, please. Nothing matters anymore. First time I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that's why I formulated my plan. To make sure that there was no one in the hallway and made the dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished, he was turning to Matt's room. I had a bit of inconvenience. That's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. Stabbed the body with the knife? Why did you do that? Isn't it obvious to put the blame on a certain person? Some cowardly man? What do you mean by all this? I take the court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man, I'll never forgive him. Trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. Last time? She just stabbed the victim on Karita and not just with the knife. But she didn't do it with the murder in mind. With the intent of framing man a guard for the murder. And this is a crime. But how is this possible? I mean, wasn't it Miss Andrews was supposed to be the real murderer? Right, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Tell for the staying room was in there. Must have been a fight. You tell me when you say that you did not know he was dead. He had a scarf tied around his neck. The scarf is part of the jamming ninja costume, so I don't think anything about it was strange. So it was tilted down a bit so I can see his face all. So I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. What was this plan he had? I knew right away the murderer was Matt. Because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weakest point to the world. Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's why I thought to forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife, the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. So you could get the knife, correct? If Matt used at dinner and had his fingerprints all over it, or used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. The snapping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, returned to the scene of the crime. So you were the one to stab the victim with the knife. Gives me goosebumps to think about it now. Horrible thing I did, but at the time I couldn't control my own body on its own. I stabbed Ron's dead body. I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. You thought to rip off the buttons off the plant, off and then plant Mr. Unguard's. If that's what I had planned to do, but the thing never got that smoothly, do they? Inconvenience? There's a woman with the camera at the ready, loading in the hallway. I am willing to bet my spikes there was a lot of. There's also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. That's what's all backs for you. I could be caught and made a big scoop for certainly good tabloid once. Couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. You only prepared the costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from the Global Studios. Let's put on Juan's guitar case today before the award ceremony. This is preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear the costume and hold the press conference in it. Because close Bat's big secret there. What's that big secret? That, I don't know. Thought if I were to leave Juan's room in Nichols' samurai costume, people would think Matt was a real murderer. But careful not to leave any fingerprints when I open the guitar case. Did not want anyone to know about the costume. We're enough. So after that, he went back to Mr. Angard's room and played the button. Yes. I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. I stuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word, what does that all mean? Which answer is it? The real criminal? Is it man on guard? Yesterday that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. For Jessica, huh? I should, under no circumstances, confess what he'd done. Just kept quiet that Matt would have been found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in our words. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, there's a testimony that stands. Can be certain that she's not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. But still, right? It's pointless. At this point, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. It's exactly. There's a single piece of evidence that points to her as a murderer. The examination of the witness is over in the Thursday trial. It happens the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But, Judge, please place Mr. Andrews on arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for detention immediately. So the court is adjourned for today. Case trial. It's over. I didn't win an acquittal. Do you mind if I ask you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave today, I wonder if you might look at one thing. Card in your hand. String for quite it's a string, and my interest for quite some time. Exactly is it? Oh, this, Mr. Wright also look asked about. I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on a day. The room? That day? Yes. I found this card when I discovered one's body. It was lying right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body? I suppose it must have constantly slipped into my pocket. But not as if the card has any relevance to one's bar, right? I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me. As far as the clue to this case, I don't see why. Witness! That card! Give it to me! Hurry! Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you've stupidly yet inadvertently done? I can't believe you hit this from me all the time. I didn't mean to. What's it all about? I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. A card. What is it? What does it mean? To be continued. That is where we're gonna leave it for tomorrow. as pretty obvious. It's the killer card because it's Maya's found a similar card right next to right with the in our right where she is, of being held by the killer. So it's pretty obvious that yeah, it has something to do with the kill with the person that kidnapped Maya. And it probably has to do with the real killer. At least that's what it seems to be at this point. Again, speculating. It's again, I know stuff I know. I don't want to spoil. I want to. I'm just gonna continue to speculate. But yeah, like I said, that's gonna be it for tonight. We are gonna be back tomorrow as we continue on the investigation. The part 3 of this, the next day investigation. Both parts of that tomorrow, and Saturday we're wrapping up with the final day of trial. Trial on Saturday, Sunday market, deluxe racing. You're seeing our channel. And Monday and Tuesday we'll begin our next playthrough. Our final one before the Halloween-thon 7, which will be of Yakuza Kiwami. And Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday only, Wednesday's only show 20. Thursday morning, right back in next Thursday morning for Market Deluxe and Day 3 Yakuza Kiwami. Right here on the channel. As they become scheduled on the channel, let's see if it's the follow button. We got lots of games coming up. Said we're wrapping up Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. On Saturday, we're also got coming up Yakuza Kiwami 2, like I said, a Halloween-a-thon. So we got October 1st to 7th and a Halloween-a-thon with Luigi's Mansion 3. Also, we're playing Doom Eternal, Resident Evil 2. So much good stuff playing. And then, so much good stuff playing for us here, including Tales of Hysteria and other good stuff playing. So follow me on social media, so when I go live, put your change on all kinds of games from our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, subscribe to YouTube page, follow this playthrough past better feature, including all playthroughs of the Phoenix Wright series, the Yakuza series, the previous Halloween-a-thons, playthroughs of the Tales of series, so much more. Got box race activities, convention videos, all kinds of good stuff. Let's got Discord, we do more stuff on future. And I wrote the cast out in some ways on full. So if you're watching on the files or on YouTube, also give around the info section down below. I would host Cookies, but I just remember he was not on. I was thinking like, oh, so Cookies, he's not on. That's right. He said he was going to be on last night because he was watching the football game. What the frick? That's weird. That was really weird. I have no idea what that was about there. There's something went weird on my TV. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, I'll just let I'll host. I would host Coach Cheese based on. He's watching a football game, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna go to now. My second half of the game. I think it's what 14-7 or 14-14 or something like that. Close one. So yeah, till next time, I'm gonna want everyone. Peace.